So I've got a very dear friend of mine called Romy Gill in the UK, who's a famous British chef, well, British Indian chef. She was born in India. And I've learned a lot from her. I did a show in the UK with her, and she's taught me so many, you know, authentic recipes. And this is one of them. So Romy, if you're watching, I hope I do you justice. So we're gonna start off to make these bhajis, we're gonna start off by slicing some red onion. I'm gonna get the chilli in there, and I'm gonna get the spices in there. Jacq, if you can do the spices for me, please.
Yep.
Looking for about a teaspoon of the coriander seeds, a couple of teaspoons of the turmeric, and the same again on the garam masala.
Nice.
Thank you. Right, so I'm gonna slice up the onions, and I'm gonna use a mandolin. You don't have to use a mandolin at home if you don't have one. Just take your time with the knife. I like it where it's really nice and thin, so that you get a better shape and you don't get those really thick pieces in your bhaji or pakora, depending on what part of India you're from. The way I was taught to do this is basically I'm gonna mix the onions with the chili and the spices and then leave it to sit for about 10 minutes because the spices will actually start to cook the onions a little bit. I say cook, soften the onions. So it'll bleed and some of the juices will start to come out, which will actually be the first part of the liquid, which will help make our batter later.
Yeah, right. That's smart.
So I'm just gonna get all these onions sliced up, get the spices in there, leave that to marinate for 10 minutes, and then we'll be cooking up the batter.
It's an emotional day on set today. You got some tears in your eyes.
I was trying to start it out there, Jacq, so no one noticed. Got a reputation here. So you can see how those onions are taking in all those spices and those colors, and you can see how they're a little bit wet and shiny. That means the spices and the chili have done their job. So we're gonna add to that a tablespoon, I'm using a date and tamarind chutney, which is it's a flavor booster, to be honest. May not necessarily be traditional. Romy may have an opinion about this.
She's not here, though.
She's not here. You are, Jacq. I feel safe.
You're in a safe space.
There you go. So, but what it does do is give that, it will give these bhajis another layer of flavor, which is just beautiful.
Tasty.
It's really tasty.
Yeah.
And can you pass me the gram flour or chickpea flour?
Or besan flour, we
Yeah.
call it as well.
Yeah.
A few varieties.
There's a few names, right?
And it's good that people know about it because in its different titles,
Yeah.
because it can get confusing if one person says it in one way and, like the
Like
moms
scallions
say one
and-
thing,
yeah.
you say potato, I say potato. And I think when you have ingredients like this in the cupboard, it's important to know how you can use them in a few different ways. So in a savoury muffin is also a nice one, combined with your almond meal.
Yeah.
It's a really nice way to do savoury muffins and get chickpea flour in there as well.
I've just decided to get my hands in there.
Yeah, best way to do it. And is this baking powder?
It is.
Would you like me to add it?
Yes, please. Just a teaspoon. Just helps with the crispiness at the end. So it's quite a firm mix. If you like it a little bit looser, you can add some water. I just want the onions. I want that flavour to carry all the way through. So I'm not adding any other liquid to it other than that natural liquid that came out in the onions. All right, I'm just gonna start frying these off. Fancy a bhaji or two?
Haven't these transformed?
I love them. Super quick and easy once you start the cooking process. We get the beautiful panipuri. And I love to make a sauce, but sometimes when it's that good, save yourself the effort, guys.
You worked hard enough already on those onions. Brought tears to your eyes.
She's not gonna let me live that one down. But I just love,
Look at that colour.
Yeah, just beautiful golden colour from the turmeric and the spices. They're just delightful. Onion bhajis, quick, easy, they'll become a staple.